Another Chicago alderman faces potential prison time, but not just any alderman, a Daley. Amanda Venicky joins us now with reaction from city council members and prospects for his replacement. Amanda.
Yes, Brandis, this is a stunning turn for the nephew of former Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley and the grandson of former Chicago Mayor Richard J Daley. Alderman Patrick Daley Thompson will have to resign his city council seat given his convictions for lying to the IRS and for filing false tax returns. He has not resigned yet, at least that I'm aware of. When I called his 11th ward office today, the woman who answered the phone said he had no statement, just that she personally wishes Thompson and his family well. Thompson's colleague, Alderman Nicholas Fasato, says he is sad and stunned, calling Thompson a generous man who he says the IRS would have worked with without legal troubles had his name been John Smith.
His fault was being a hard worker, overwhelming himself with work to make a good life for his family. So I said he got royally screwed, and I meant that in a bunch of ways. Royally because of what his name is, and royally screwed because, because he's an alderman. So a combination of, one, he's an alderman, and two, what his mother's last name was.
Once Daley Thompson does resign, Mayor Lori Lightfoot will have 60 days to appoint a successor. Spasato says for the sake of continuity, he believes she should appoint one of Daley's office ward employees who vows not to run for the job in next year's election. Alderman Gilbert Villegas says that an Asian American should get the appointment. Even as the city council has struggled to draw a new ward map, there is consensus that a new 11th ward should have a majority of Asian American residents. Villegas says there's no need to wait for 2023 for that.
You have to remember that right now, Illinois' population increased a little bit. And had it not been for the Latino community and the Asian community, Illinois would have lost 2 congressional seats instead of 1. And so as a result of that, we need to make sure that representation is reflected in its elected officials.
Local Asian leaders do hope to have a voice, like Grace Chan McKibben, who says that the mayor should choose the best qualified person as well as someone who understands the community.
Experience is part of that understanding, and so someone who does have the experience of being an Asian American or understand the experience of being an Asian American definitely helps in this particular situation. Symbolism is also important, right? We've been pushing for a 50% plus Asian American ward because Chicago's Chinatown is the only growing Chinatown, or often touted as the only growing Chinatown in North America, and so other cities are watching us, and to be able to have an Asian American alderperson representing this particular ward is significant for the same reason.
Now, Ambria Taylor is a CPS middle school teacher, also a member of the Chicago Teachers Union. She's lived in Bridgeport, so the 11th ward, for about a decade, and she says this verdict is huge.
I was ready to run against a Daley, and I'm sure he was going to be ready to throw everything he has at me, which I'm sure would be a lot. I would definitely be an underdog in that race.
Now, even before the conviction, Taylor this past October had announced that she was going to run a campaign for the 11th ward seat. She says she is not specifically vying for the open appointment, though she would consider it if she had the chance. She says she wants to earn the job from voters.
The stronghold of Daley has kind of narrowed down to the 11th ward, right? That legacy kind of ends here. And, he's been toppled now. I think that marks a huge change for the ward. I think we're at a crossroads right now. I am so hopeful that we are going to seize it and that we are going to make this ward a place that is transparent, that collaborates with people, that doesn't rally up hate in order to, try to strengthen that hold on power.
Thompson is one of several sitting aldermen facing trouble with the law, and Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez says that shows accountability is needed more than ever in Chicago City Council. He is troubled that there is no inspector general right now, even as the former one had announced in July that he'd be leaving in October, meaning that the post has been vacant for 4 months now, as of today.
in the case of the Inspector General, proper oversight and accountability in City Council is more urgent than ever. That's why I'm still continues to be concerned that still have not seen the type of transparency the Mayor Lightfoot campaign on.
The mayor's office did not respond this afternoon when I asked for an update on the appointment process for Daley Thompson's seat. But in a statement issued yesterday, the mayor said she promised to be open and transparent about it. With that, Brandis, back to you.
Amanda, thank you.